Hi, I'm Shakayla and this is my channel Shakayla Says. Today I'm going to be reading the book The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Basically, it's about a group of boys who are put into this place where there's like a place in the middle that's all safe, and then on the outside there's a maze that they have to try and solve so that they can escape. But the problem is, none of them have their memories, so they don't know how they got there, and they don't know what's going on really, and the only thing they know is their names. It's following Thomas, one of the boys who comes he's the second to last person who comes into the area or whatever. So basically, in the maze, there's like these creature things. They're like half animal, half slug robot thingies. I've just imagined them as like slugs with armour on them, to be honest. I don't know why, but that's what I've been imagining them as. So basically, they're called grievers and they live in the maze. Every night, the maze will close, so that the grievers can't come out, because the grievers only come out at night. So there's a group of people called the runners who go into the maze, and they have to try and see what, because the maze changes every day, but it's got a pattern to it, and they have to try and figure out the pattern so that they can escape. I did like one character the most, and that guy was one of the guys called Minho. Everybody else was just well, they were gonna die, but you know what I mean. Like, everyone was acting like they were gonna die, and he would just say something that wasn't so morbid as what everybody else was saying, so it was like, you know. I found it interesting, the kind of premise of it, but it didn't really make sense. One of the things that I liked about the book, it's not really I liked about the book, it's one of the things that I'm glad it didn't do. Because basically, in the book, there's the guy Thomas, one of the second class people who comes into the maze. The last person to come in the maze is a girl called Teresa, and she's the only girl. I'm just glad it didn't turn into a love story, because it was more about survival than a love story, because I'm just so glad. Because if I had to read a love story about this and the other, I'd be like, why? Because when you're trying to survive all the rest of the other, why are you thinking about girls, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be thinking about other things, like how you're going to eat, how you're going to get water, that type of thing. So Thomas is the second to last guy, comes into the glade, that's what they call it. The glade, that's the area that's safe. So he's the second to last person who comes in, and the story, it follows him, and yeah, he's just a bit of like one note kind of, and he's just the one who is always to be brave and courageous, you know how it is. Like, well, things just kind of confused me. Like, the whole kind of thing was a bit confusing. Like, there were little things and no bigger things. Like, one of the little things that did kind of confuse me about it was how Albie's like the leader, and Minho go into the maze, even though the maze changes every day, because they went to go see this griever who they thought was dead, but they were like, because they wanted to know what killed it, because they don't know how to kill a griever, so they were wondering what killed it. So they were going to go to look for it, but Minho had found the griever dead the day before, so the maze would have changed when they go back. So how are they going to find it? This is only the inner circle changes or whatever else. But still, wouldn't you still have to run a different way and then try and remember? Wouldn't you have to still run, it just doesn't make sense, because they're running for something on a path that they know is gonna change. So how are they gonna find it? One of my big problems with it was how every single time Thomas asked a question at the beginning of the book, everyone's like, "Why are you asking questions for? You're not supposed to ask questions." Like, as if he's got no memories, and the only thing he remembers is like basic human things, like, I don't know what food is and how to breathe and his name, and that's all he remembers. And then he's asking questions like, "Oh, why am I here? What is this place? Oh my god!" And then everybody's acting like he's like some sort of alien, like they didn't do that when they first came. Like, it just confuses me. All Thomas asks the stupidest questions. It's like, in this situation, I won't be asking questions about, oh, why did the doors close to the maze, blah, 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 blah. I'd be asking, what am I doing here? What's going on? What day is it? What year is it? Them type of normal questions people will be asking. But I won't be asking about the grievers, but I'll be asking like good questions first, like, what's on the menu for tomorrow? Well, one of my problems with the thing was like, why were the teenage boys in the maze? I don't have a problem with it. Like, if the writers wanted to just be teenage boys or just teenagers, whatever, that's good and well. But at the end of the book, it didn't explain why it was only teenage boys. Well, the timing of the thing was really weird. Well, not the time, but like the way it was written, because Thomas had only been in the maze for like a week or two, I'm guessing, and he was already acting like he'd been there for years. And like the second day, I think, he jumped into the maze. So he went in there and he's acting like he's some what's it called, Bear Grylls of the maze, because he knows everything for some reason. He knows to strap Albie up, like he comes up with a genius idea to strap Albie up to some vines because he's basically dead. So he gets this genius idea and then he somehow survives the night even though he's only been there for like 2-3 days. The whole maze was just over the top because basically the maze wasn't even needed that much. It was just to show how well people would react in a certain situation, and so they could keep the strong ones and like, you know, like survival of the fittest kind of thing. But why did you need to build a whole maze and the whole thing for that? Isn't that a bit of a waste of money, especially when the world is seemingly in a crisis? So why are you wasting money building this that, and the other when you could just make them take a quiz or something? And then like the whole book, it just seemed like it was a book that was made to make another book. Like normally when you have books in like a trilogy or in a series, the book can stand alone by itself, make sense and all this and other. But this book, it can stand alone by itself, but without reading the next book, which I haven't read yet, you're still kind of in the dark because you don't know what happened. You're still left with questions really. I won't read the rest of the series of the books because I'm still kind of confused. So I'll read the next books. I don't know how many there are, because in some things it says it's a trilogy, but in other things it says 5 books there in the series, so I'll give this book like a 5 or something, because it wasn't that bad, even though it sounds like I've got a lot of complaints. It wasn't that bad, but I still didn't think it was good, you know what I mean? It's just average. Okay. Well, this is the end of my review. Hope you come back for another one. Bye!